Well, hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC coming to you from the Fat Guy Flies RC studios, and yes, obviously we have the twin 64mm EDF A-10 Thunderbolt version 3 from Freewing, sent to me or purchased from Motion RC, the good folks there. Let's go ahead and unbox and see what's in this beautiful plane, this beautiful box here. All right, I was going to get this when it was first released, but I had other planes and other projects ahead of it, so I waited a little while and now I got it. And so I'm going to bring it to y'all. I know it's not the latest thing now, but hey, I still wanted it, and we all know I need another plane like I need a hole in the head. So let's go ahead and unbox it and show you what comes in the box. Now, all the particulars of the plane, I'll have all the specs in the video and the description, you know, CG and all that kind of stuff. But this is the plug and play version, twin 64. They have outrunners instead of in runners, so I won't be doing the I know my big A-10, I added afterburners to it. I won't be doing that to this one. She'll stand without the afterburners. She's not a futuristic A-10 with afterburners, but got your manual. It's not folded. And let me change our camera view, and we're going to do like I've been doing lately, is looking down at that way you can see how it all comes out of the box from this standpoint. So hold still right there. All right, here we go. Obviously we have our manual right here, unfolded, which I know I go on and on about unfolded manuals, but it's an unfolded manual. Got our wing spar right here, and the wonderful Go Get 'em wire. Make sure you hold on to these Go Get 'em wires. They are invaluable. They're one of the best tools that they give you. All right, little bag of bits and bobs and goodies. So all the screws you need. Looks like only a 2mm hex drive is all you're going to need. I think that's from watching the videos. There's your side mounted antenna that goes on the side. The other wing spar, because it requires two wing spars. Okay. Got your decal sheet, which your choice of the different water slide decals. Okay, I don't think there's anything down in here. Let me make sure before I pull these wings out. Okay, doesn't look to be. You see, all your ball links are already hooked up for you. Wire tires have a little bit of give. They're fairly hard, but they do have some give to them. Got your CG mark right there. Very nice, beautiful finish on the foam. Big LEDs on the side there. Again, got your quick connects, because this wing just slides in and pops into place. The two release tabs will hold them in. Nice quick connect, nice sturdy wing. This is going to be a very, very, very simple build. Okay, now got the two-part coffin here. go ahead and put these back so I can. And by the way, in the comments section, if you would, hold on. All right, here we go. Grand reveal of the second part, maybe. 3, 2, 1, ta-da! All right. Right off the bat, got your nacelles. By the way, in my videos, let me know. I've been adding these camera rolls to the end of the video, shots of it sitting there and different things, and some nice, cool music to it. Let me know what y'all think of that. To me, I personally like it. But look at how this is. They said very carefully. Make sure when you hook these up, they're color coded. Okay, so it's obvious: red, black, and yellow. Hook it up the same way. There's your your Outrunners there. Okay, so no afterburners for me. That's okay. I mean, yeah, I could do the structure thing, but I add them, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave the A-10 as it's intended. This one's intended to be. The only difference I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a clear gloss finish instead of a flat gloss finish. So that's just me. The other one has a satin finish. This one's going to have a gloss finish. More of your bombs. Nothing done. Look how that's purposely made just for those bombs. That's to me, that little steps like and putting pieces of foam in to protect it. To me, that's a sign of a quality manufacturer there. Okay, our horizontal stabilizer, otherwise known as elevator. Got the quick connect there. Ball link already hooked up. Now remember, our Freewing ball links, they don't have them. See how there's a small amount of separation there? Okay, if you look closer, this actually will pop in a little bit further. They have it on the furthest out point to where you can take them off and adjust if need to, but make sure you pop them into place the rest of the way. Nice mechanical hinges. I mean, it has a foam hinge, but mechanical hinge reinforcement, so that's a nice touch. So I don't have to worry about doing any kind of a hinge reinforcement job. All right, we got our vertical stabilizers, otherwise known as rudders. Same thing. This is all hard plastic in here. You've got actual mechanical hinges with a foam hinge, so you got two-part hinges. Decals already applied. Nice big light there. Very nice. Very, very nice. This is going to be a very good looking model. Can't wait to get it all lit up. Get it all lit up and bound up and ready to go. Hope we get them made this weekend. It's late Friday night. So, isn't that nice? Get a good look at the detail on that. Okay. Like I say, keep up with your debris as you're opening up these things. Now, I'm probably going to have to fish something in there. Another piece of your bomb, another one of your bombs. Your bombs, your bombs, your bombs. Okay. Another bomb. Sometimes called ordnance, bombs, ordnance. Okay. They're going to have to be fished out. Let me grab a zip tie, a stiffer zip tie. Maybe I can. There we go. There we go. Maybe. Oh my goodness. Why does this have to be so difficult? Now cool? So cool. Oh, need that back. Where'd it go? I need that back. We always try to bring the fuselage out last. Alright. Got a bomb there. Got that simple plastic railing system on there. Alright, we should not have anything in here, or in here. So there's the, and see, look at there. It's that wood plate, because the bottom of this was receiving these disposable spars, helps protect your investment. That's yet another. This is another reason why this plane is almost $500. And it's $489, and if I remember, yeah, $489, and $489 is what I paid. I paid the same as y'all. Freewing does not sponsor or give reviewers free stuff, free planes to review. We got to pay for them just like you. But to be honest, y'all bought this plane for me, okay? By watching my channel, watching my videos, liking and subscribing and making comments, that enables the algorithm to say, hey, they like him, and that's how YouTube pays me. And that in turn goes into new planes. So y'all, my wonderful viewers, pay for this plane. These two spars here, these are disposable. They're even marked that you don't use them, okay? Don't use them. You can use them for something else, but not for this plane, as Wes said is in his video. But they're still a good spar, so I wouldn't just get rid of them. You can use them for something. I got something stuck. I got a wasp flying around in here with me. Okay. Now, battery hatch is here. Got the latch. You even got a little quick connect there, pressure plate. See these pins right here? See them little pins right there? Where my finger's in the way? Okay, they're right there. That runs power to this light on the battery hatch. Isn't that cool? That is just so cool. All right, now you've got EC5 connector. Okay, everything is labeled here for you. Okay, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 channels. Okay, because you have thrust reversing. Now, if you don't want thrust reversing, then you could get away with a 6-channel receiver. I will, however, be putting in an 8-channel receiver because I'm going to isolate the nose gear and put that on a steering gyro from Spectrum, using an 8-channel Spectrum receiver, which I will more than likely mount right there. If I can wedge it in there, I should be able to. So all I got to do is isolate. Okay, I'll take this tray here out, screw them out, pull it out, isolate that nose steering servo, and keep it separate, and then I'll put everything back down after I put some Velcro. I know y'all use shelf liner, I like using Velcro, but I'm kind of old school at that. Now when you put these wings on, see those quick connects? These right here? Just go ahead and drive this point home, okay? If these are out and you see white, you don't fly, okay? If these are in when you got the wings on, and it's just gray stubs, like that, then you're in good shape. All right. That's kind of thin. Let's put that back in there like that, put that there, okay? Let's get all of our, oh, look at the bottom of this. Look at that big cooling duct there. That's cool. And you got exhaust out here, so put your missiles or your antenna there. So kind of a very clean bottom. Okay. All right. Hello, I'm an A-10 warthog. Okay. Enough of that. All right, let me get everything laid out. Change our camera views, and we'll start putting this bad boy together. All righty, we're back. Now, here's where you're going to want to, the instructions once you start with your elevator horizontal stabilizer, okay? I suggest turning it upside down for right now, okay? And you're going to unfurl the wires on your rudders, okay? Go ahead and pull them. I like to hold one end and then pull them taut to straighten them out like that. That way you don't put pressure on them, just pull them the way you're holding taut here. Lay them to the side, okay? These are only going to fit on your model one way, okay? Hold it tight and then pull your wires. Just pull them through your fingers. That'll help straighten them out a little bit, okay? All right, get them right there. All right, now you're going to need your go-get-em wire. Okay, I'm sorry, you do put it like this. All right, if you look on here, if you look closely, all right, the top one says LED, the bottom one says LED, and then the third one down on the connectors here say flash. You want to plug your lights in, you're going to see this in a minute, in those top two, okay? Now that's for the lights. The signal wire and the wires that are going to control the rudders are going to slide through and plug into, see these two empty ports right here? Right there? That's where they're going to plug into. And you can already see, since the light wire here, when you pull these through, this light side wire, the yellow, okay, the yellow side is going to plug in the same side over here. Okay, go ahead and open up. I highly suggest you get these little metal magnetic trays. Okay, we'll go ahead and open them up because you're going to use the one size screw for all this. Okay, go ahead and grab your, this is actually the top of the elevator. Okay, so if this is the top, that's the outside. This is going to go like this. So take your wires here, take your go get 'em wire that has this little hook, see, got that channel right there. You're going to fish that through, or try to anyways. See, it doesn't go as perfect as you see, like when other professional reviewers, they do their stuff, everything works perfectly the first time. I try to go at a different angle here. Oh, there you go. See how that came out? All right. So I know that this is going to go like this. Okay. I'm going to take both these wires. I'm going to run them through the end of this go get 'em hook. Go get 'em wire hook. Okay. You got more than enough wire. You see what I got there? Okay. And then I'm going to just pull them through. Maybe. Try to. Well, look there. See what's happening? Come on, guys. Come on. Yeah. There we go. See? That's what I wanted. Alright. Now, go ahead and pull them out. Push them out. Don't pull them out. Alright. And since I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and pull them tight. Okay. I'm going to push the end of that elevator, or rudder, onto the end of the elevator there, on that half. Push that on through. Okay. And to go ahead and secure this, I'll go ahead and take two of my 2mm hex drive screws and go ahead and seat this rudder on the side of the elevator. Has a very obvious bottoming out point. Okay, very obvious. I mean, you'll go so far, and also you feel it heavy resistance. And if you look at this, okay, right there. All right, that's it. That's not going any further. Okay, so look at it. They got plastic right there to protect us. So when the plane sits back, rocks back on the ground, that's where you're going to touch the ground. Well, they thought of that, and they put plastic, little touches like that. Okay, now I'm going to take this wire while I'm here, this wire that's going to control the rudder and the light, or I mean this wire here is going to control the rudder. I'm going to plug it in the same corresponding as the other wires. Okay, so I'm going to take this and put it right in there, right up next. Plug it in. See how it's plugged in there? All the signal wire, the light wires are on this side. Okay. And all the dark wires are on this side. All right, and then I'm going to take, and remember we said on these LEDs, okay, the one that's closest in will flash. I don't want them to flash, I want the two outer ones. So for right now, I got to figure out where my signal is, which side of my signal, which positive and negative. Okay, the inside, if you're looking at it this way, the inside set of wires going this way is your positive, so the red would go towards the front of the plane. On these signals, on these, for the polarity, the red will go towards the front of the plane. So this one I'm going to hook right there. So the red, see how the red here is down facing me this way, because this is the front of the plane, that's the rear of the plane. So you're going to hook your red up there, and we're going to mimic that for the other side. Okay, get my Go Get 'em wire, one of the most absolute best tools that Freewing has ever come up with, or any of these companies have ever come up with, and you get them free. All right, there's my wire there. Okay, you get them free. We love free. We love free tools. We love free glue. We love it. Now you didn't get any tube glue with this, but you only need a small amount of glue for this thing. All right, I'm going to kind of just push them in. So I found that was easier because I know it's hooked up. And then I'm just going to go ahead and pull them on through. See? There they are. Now don't be forced to just pull your wire away. Push them through, because I've had that pull the wires out of that servo housing before. Okay, just push it on through. Just be patient. Don't be in a hurry. Remember, you paid $500 some odd for this thing, or almost $500 for this thing. Don't rush it. I know you want to fly it, but don't rush this. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and pull the rest of the excess wire on through and get my rudder seated. Okay. All right, make sure I don't have any wires pinched. And let's go ahead and attach the other half of your tail feathers. Okay. Okay, now those are on there, and now we're going to hook them up. I'm going to hook up the rudder first, okay, and in this situation, okay, see where I've got this last connection point? I'm going to take the yellow side to the ends to this side over here. Polarity is the same. Plug that in, just like that. And then this one here, remember we said the red wire is going to go forward, so this red wire here on this light is going to go forward here. And we're going to plug this in here, maybe, if I can get a hold of it. Okay, now, see what we got? So you're going to, that's how it should look when you're all done. Okay, when you're all done, you should have the red wires on both of these lights going this way. Okay, and then on this side, all four of these connections, this is both rudders and both elevators, the darkest colored or the brown wire should be what you see lining up on this side. So that means that on the inside is all your light, either white or yellow wires, okay, which are your signal. Go ahead and tuck you got some room there, go ahead and kind of tuck that stuff out of the way, nice and snug, and that's how that should look. From, see your orientation here? This is the front of the plane on this side, this is the front. This is how it should look when you're all done. If you want to pause that and take a look at that, that's how it should look when it's all done. Okay, now set this over here. We're not done with that, but now we're going to take our Ernst stand. Okay, move this piece of foam out of the way, which I just put down for protection. Okay, and now we're going to attach. Don't look at my Ernst stand; it's very, very dirty. I have found that this foam, the edges of these foam, the plastic parts are kind of sharp, so I put this extra foam in there just to cradle. Dang it. Okay. All right. Let me back you up just a touch. All right. See what we got going here? Got this quick connector. Yeah, well, you kind of remember what we had earlier. We had that port right there. That's got teeth ports. It only fits one way. See it? You can see the teeth on this. They only fit in there one way. So I have to do this upside down. Okay. The way this is going to feed in, if you see the teeth side, you're going to turn this over and it's going to go in there flat, where all the connectors are going to go in there just like this. Okay. Sorry if you can't really see that. Let's see how that's going to be. Okay. It only fits one way. Okay, and that's going to fit in there. Just kind of, I got my fingers on, just kind of making sure it's all nice. And see, it actually has a small clicking sound, a feel to it. I'm going to let that wires just kind of drop down in there. Kind of look underneath, make sure you're not pinching anything, which you shouldn't. And that should just sit down in there. Just like that. Okay, see how that's sitting down there nice and flush? All right. Now, take you get 4 of these screws, of these 2mm hex drive screws. And we're going to use our tool this time, wherever I put it, my power tool. Oh, it's right here. Okay. This is just a screwdriver I got off Amazon. Okay. Mount that one in there. There, has a very obvious bottoming out point. This just makes it go a little bit quicker, but just don't force it shut, okay? Don't. When it stops, stop. When it stops, you stop. Now you can always go back with your manual or your handheld screwdriver, or your manual one, and feel it, because you have a better feel or feedback through there. Okay. All right, see how that disappeared? Now, what I like to do, take my hand, cradle underneath here with my other hand here, and I'm going to put it down here and just make sure everything is nice and it feels nice and snug. It just goes a whole lot quicker using that power screwdriver. Yeah, there it bottomed out. There's yeah, maybe even not even an eighth of a turn here. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Okay, now while we're here, okay, go ahead and grab your little bag of antennas, because you're right here at it. Might as well go ahead and do this. One of the peripherals. Okay, now these go in at a certain order. Okay, make sure you can see that. You got 1, 2, and 3 here. Let's go ahead and open them up. Okay, and it's actually real simple. The big flat one, the big flat square one, goes up front. Goes in a certain, it keys in a certain way. Okay, shark tooth, or the fin, one looks like a fin, goes in the back like that. You know what, I might have them backwards actually. And then the smaller one goes in the middle. Okay, let me make sure got them seated in there right. All right, yeah, they're in there, and you can easily remove them. They're just pressure fit in there. Let me refer to them. I think I've got them in the right order, but let me look at I actually all I do is look at a picture. Yeah, that's right. I can see the picture over there. So, big flat up front towards the front of the plane, the angled thinner one in the middle, and then the more it looks like a shark dorsal fin towards the back. Okay. Now you could glue these in if you wish, but I will tell you, they're in there. They're not coming out. Okay. So now that we're here, let's go ahead and turn this bad boy over. Okay. Fish out. Let me get you where you can see what I'm doing. All right. All right. So you got all these wires here. This is all your ESC wires. Okay. It's all coming off your ESCs. Okay. Now, it's got to be okay. All right. Looky here. Looky here. If you notice, you see up in there, see how they got zip ties differentiating? Okay. All right. One's going to one side, one's going to go to the other. Okay. Let me make sure that's not twisted somewhere. Nope, that looks about right. Let me look down there. Okay, yeah, one goes to one side, one go to the other. All right. Now, let's go ahead. How am I going to show you this? Okay. What I'm going to do, all right, this is your nacelle unit. They're hooked up yellow, black, red. Okay? Yellow, black, red. You can actually see the colors. That's all I'm going to do is just plug them in. Let me get you backed up to where you can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay? And I might need to change my position on my earth stand here. I don't want to be on them antennas. All right. This would go like this. Okay. So I'm going to take this side and I'm going to go red. I'll support the back of it. Red, black, and yellow. All right. Take the other side. Okay. I'm going to go red, black. Oh gosh, trying to see this. Black and yellow. Okay, let me make sure everything. Alright, everything's good and seated. If you see some brass, you need to tighten that up a little bit. Okay. Alright. That's all in there. Let that seat on down there. Fish on through. And that should just seat right down in there, all nice and pretty. Okay. So let me get where my antennas aren't getting messed up. Okay. Get my tool and 4 more screws. Okay. See how that crack disappeared there? Uh-oh. It went somewhere. I lost a screw. Got a screw loose. Probably in this earth stand somewhere. Okay, kind of support it from underneath. Okay. Okay. Okay, that all feels good. Let me go back with my manual screwdriver, and it's the same thing. I only got maybe 1/8 of it tightening. I really don't even have to do that. Okay, those are on there. Okay, so let's return our attention to some very hard work to do now. Wings, wingy dingies. All right, wingy dingies. You're going to take your 2 wing spars. You know what, you know what? Let's change something real quick. Let's put these other peripherals on. Okay. And I am going to need that screw that I lost, but I'll find it. I have to do it off camera, but I'll find it. Okay. For this, I suggest you use your manual screwdriver. All right, this is, see it's got the 3 holes in there? Right up here. You got a hole there and 2 protrusions coming out. So it means it's only going to fit one way. Go ahead and put that on there. Come on. You got your 2 ventral fins, and these are wood. Okay, the decal side is going to go out, so this is going to go here like that, and it goes in your screw is going to go in the middle. Okay, like that. Same deal, it's got protrusions. And by the way, these metals are going into a metal housing. Okay, these metal screws are going into metal housing. Okay, you can't get it wrong. Now I've got to find that last screw because I have a screw loose on me. So let's pause and find that screw. All right, we're back. Got the same kind of screw, same size screw out of my stash, but it's a Phillips head instead. So I'll have to use a Phillips head screwdriver for this one, but that's okay. This is why when you crash planes and lose planes and all that, you harvest them for, if you're not going to fly them, you're going to repair them, you harvest them for everything they got. Screws included. All right, so let me turn this, actually I'll just go ahead and do it over here. Get this turned around here. We're not what you call scripted or spit and polish here on Fat Guy Flies RC. We're definitely a seat of the pants kind of guy, kind of thing. So remember, it goes in the middle. Okay, right there, right there. Make sure it's in there. There it is. It only fits one way. Okay, that's on there. All right, now let's turn our attention to some very hard-nosed stuff now. Wings. Okay, you got these little guides. You can use them if you want to. I will just because they show it. It helps because you're going to be taking your wings on and off a lot, and you can store the spars aside the fuselage, I'm pretty sure. So let's go ahead and open these up. Okay. Alright. I'm going to open these bad boys up. And of these, I get an extra one. I only need 4, and I got 5. Okay. Don't really need the... Okay, and all you need to do is just on the end of these spars, just take a little bit of glue, put it on these little pointy things. I don't know what they are, guides. Okay, just hold that on there. That's all you're doing. Probably when I get done, I'll find that other screw. And that I get an extra one for. Okay, just a little bit of glue just to hold them in place. Okay, and that's all you do with that. That way they should look like that when you're all done. Alright, you got your 2 halves, 2 sides of your plane. Okay, alright, let's go ahead and get you positioned a little bit better. Real simple. Slide that through there, slide that through there. Okay. Now, see the side of your wing there? Your wing mount? That quick connect area? That's where that other part of the wing is going to connect. Okay? Put that through. Make sure you grab the appropriate wing. It would only fit one way, but that's that quick connect point. Go ahead. Make sure your white tabs are up. You can see white. This is when you want to see white. Go ahead and push your spar in there. And see that seam right there? Alright. See, okay, keep your eye on this seam right here. You want to see this seam disappear. Alright, disappear. Hold underneath for the first time. Press in. Press in. That wing's on there. Okay, come back, grab your other wing. Go ahead and line up your spars. Make sure your tabs are out. Slide your wing in, press, press. Wings are on. Now, while we are here, while we're present and here, let's take this upside down configuration and look at how our bombs go on. What order the bombs go on. I'm sure there's a real simple diagram that show you. Okay, and it's pretty simple. Your big bomb next to size, and then down to smaller, to where on the ends you have these I don't know what these are called. I'm sure y'all know the clunky ones on the end. Okay, so put the clunky ones. I know I shouldn't use that term clunky, but on the end. Okay, the large traditional missile ones go on the inside. Okay, probably doesn't matter which side they go on. Just got to find the right hole. Maybe it does matter. Okay, I just didn't have it angled right. Okay, just got to get it angled right. Slides right on there. Okay, then the other ones that have the black tips go next side on this side of the landing gear. Okay, I'm sorry I'm in your way, but you can see what I'm doing. Okay, and then these cluster bomb looking ones go. All right, the angled part goes to the rear. Okay, let me get the A-10 around here to where I can get to this side. All right, angled part, the more distinct angled part to the rear. Okay, and then this just slides on there like that. Okay, that takes care of all the peripherals minus one peripheral, which is the antenna, which is right here, pitot tube, which should goes into one of the, okay, goes right here. And there's a nice hard plastic point. You can glue this on if you wish, but I'll be honest, it fits in there pretty good. And that's the first thing you're going to be breaking off. So honestly, when you're showing it, maybe leave it on, but take it out, poke it inside the fuselage somewhere, okay, to get it out of the way. All right, going to take a break right there. Okay, but let's look at this beautiful beast real quick. I like the fact it's smaller and I can handle it. And I'm going to be honest, I do love my big 80, but I'll tell you right now, had they came out with this one first, and they probably knew that, I would have got this one instead of the 80, because the 80 is so big and takes two big batteries and takes a lot of charging, a lot of time, and when she crashes, I mean, very expensive. This is much more manageable, and basically this is just a shrunk down version. Yes, I don't get the light up cannon, I'm sorry, but everything else works, and the lights are green. All right, we'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and get a receiver in there. We're going to get her all bound up, and we'll drop the gear, we'll go over rates, we'll go over everything, and just hold tight. We'll be right back. Alrighty, we're back, and as you can see, I've got the Freewing 64mm A-10 Thunderbolt version 2, well, actually version 3, but it's a Thunderbolt 2, all put together, bound up, pretty and beautiful, and on the CG stand. Now, unfortunately, this CG stand is something Hobby King used to sell back years ago. It was only $14.95. They've long since discontinued it. I've talked to them a couple of times in email, said please bring it back. It's very handy, but if you can find one or make yourself one, very handy. I'm directly on the CG marks with a 4900 SMC pack, pretty much all the way forward, but I'll show you where I've got that right now. Now, CG may change a little bit now when I put the gear up, but this is with the gear down, perfectly level with the gear down. Let me hold it. Now, might be a little more nose heavy now. Yeah, starting to be a little bit more nose heavy. Okay. The gear is down. But with the gear down, it's pretty good. Well, Pretty good with the gear down. Okay, so see, so she's going to be a little bit nose heavy, but that's fine. It's a warbird with a big wide straight wing. This is not a delta wing. This is not a death Dorito. You want level to favoring nose heavy. So with the gear up, that'd be fine. With the gear down, perfectly level, perfect for landing. All right, now I've proven that CG. Let me show you where the CG actually is on the plane, and then where I got that CG versus where the battery is. Okay, all right. Oh boy. And she's much, much smaller than having to deal with that A-10, that big 80mm. CG marks are actually right there. Okay, right on. It's actually written right, and that's where I had my little stands right there underneath it. Okay, so let me show you where inside that correlates to. Okay, nice hatch. Love this suspension gear. Okay, all right. See where I've got the 50. This is a 4900 SMC pack. Okay, so basically it's like a 5000. A 5000 I might actually put just maybe 1/8 of an inch further back, but that's where I got my basis. So I know if I put a 4000, I'll go further forward, which there's plenty of room, and have a little face. I put a 6000, which I probably wouldn't. I'll go a little further back, but that gives me my starting point. And of course, I can feel the CG underneath in order to know where I've got it now, or know where my CG is as far as how it feels. If you look on that left side inside there, that's my 8-channel Spectrum receiver. Got one antenna going sideways and the one antenna going straight back, making it 90 degrees. Okay. And as far as like the weight and wingspan and all that, that'll be in the description of the video. Okay. You just put that in there like that. Now, those contacts happen, those lights come on. Okay. Of course, I got the full ordnance on. Okay. Let me get her turned around here. Okay, let me show you. Now, I have set her up exactly, right down to the millimeter or half millimeter down by the book. All right. So I'm going to sit down for this because my back's getting tired. All right. High rates. My high flying rates, ailerons high are going to be
mid rate, low rate, high rates.
120. This is what the book calls. The book calls 120, and I put, doesn't say much about Expo. It says, you know, whatever you want for Expo, but I use 30% Expo on that. Okay, mid rates aileron are 110,
low rates.
And low rates are actually 100. I think that's the first time I've ever had an airplane manual suggest 120 for high on anything. So, elevator. Now, high on low elevator rates is 100, and I pick 30% Expo.
Mid rate.
Mid 90.
Low rate.
Low 80. So if you're 90, just splitting the difference. Okay. Now, rudder, I followed the same suit, and this is just by the book. Rudder low rates are 80. Rudder mid rates are 90, and rudder high rates are 100 with 30% Expo. Okay, flap settings, I did not have to adjust the flaps at all. The flap high rating for flaps deployed, all the way for landing flaps, 15 millimeters down. Flaps. And that's exactly what that looks like. That was already set. I put my ruler up to it, and it was exactly 15 millimeters down. So that's perfect. And then the takeoff flaps come up to 10 millimeters down, and that's perfect. Now it called for a 0.8 millimeter down for elevator mix, and then for full landing flaps, a full 1 millimeter down for mix. Okay, but let me show you what that actually equates to in Spectrum. Okay, so flaps up are a negative 100%. Takeoff flaps are a negative 50 with a 4% down elevator mix, and landing are 0% with a 10% down elevator mix on a 2-second deployment. Okay, now I have AS3X going, okay, and I've got the nose wheel gyro all set up. Okay, my nose wheel gyro is a 50% window and a 50% gain, and I had to, real simple. And then my AS3X settings right now, because I have not flown her, is going to be the stock AS3X settings of roll, pitch, and yaw of 40, 50, and 60. That will change, and I'll capture the gains once I fly her. I'll fly her straight and level, get her all trimmed out, make sure she's beautiful, flying great, and then I'll let her fly for 3 seconds uninterrupted, and then I'll land, I'll capture those gains, and that will be my new limits. Like right now, my gain limit is 40%. Okay, well, I might be flying along and find that 22 or 24% is where I like it, and then I'll land and capture that, and it'll, now my new limit will be 24% gain. So that's how that works. And the same thing with roll, pitch, and yaw. Okay, this is the base starting point of 40, 50, and 60, but it'll be somewhere between 0 and that after the first fly, after I get her trimmed out. Okay, the priorities, I'll have all of them at 100, and I will have my stop lock all at 50 on roll, pitch, and yaw. Same thing for priority, all 100 at roll, pitch, and yaw. And I won't be doing anything with a release rate, and gains will be set at one-time gains. All right, that's pretty much as far as how my setup goes. I did the 7th channel. I put in my 7th channel on my 8 channel receiver, and that gives me, well, motor has to be on.
Be careful. Braking.
Gives me reverse thrust. Okay. Okay, I release it, and there's regular thrust. Okay, the gear are pretty darn quick as far as going up and down, so it's not a huge consideration. These lights are extremely bright. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning here right now, and I went down my street. I'm like, oh, nobody bothers me, or I get up to make anybody upset. But it's kind of a soft noise, but. Okay, what you have to do is start counting when she comes down. Okay, you got that door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So allow yourself 6 seconds and you're in good shape. Okay, now just so you know, E-flight, that's how retracts are supposed to work. Not trying to stir the pot, but that's how they're supposed to work. Alrighty. Well, folks, there you go. Like I say, all the actual numbers for wingspan, weight, the actual numbers for the CG, all the motor stuff, all that will be in the description of the video. I just showed you how I set her up on a radio, and yeah, only thing I'm going to do now is give her a clear coat of my polyacrylic like I use to protect the skin of the foam, and get you made, and hopefully really soon. I did have to manually adjust the steering. Even though I could have done it electronically, it was just easier to manually adjust it with her. And there's a 2mm grub screw, and I found that screw, by the way. It was just laying here, I just couldn't see it. But everything you need, this entire plane can be put together with a 2mm hex drive. That's all you need to put it together. Small amount of glue, just a little bit of white Chinese tube glue to put the end caps on those spars. And that's pretty much it. And we'll go over after the flight, after the maiden, in case all you see is the maiden. I'll do my rates and everything again after the maiden, but we'll show you the proven. They'll be proven then, because then you will have seen them fly, and then we'll go over it. And okay, yeah, now they're proven. Oh, by the way, and I went with the Raving Dove livery. Now there's also a little thing of decals for nose step and everything, and I didn't do that. I'm just going to leave it the way, because 90% of the decals are already on here, and the only thing I added was that Raving Dove. Well, there you go, folks. That is one incredible looking plane. I did have to unhook one of the flaps and adjust the trim. I had to turn it in about one time just to get it even, but other than that, to get her bench trim, it was basically all done. And yes, I did have to snap in all of the ball links like you do with Freewing, because that way they put them halfway on there. That way you can take them off and adjust if need. But then once you're ready and they're secure, and you got her bench trim, then you need to take a tool or a pair of needle nose and clamp them in the rest of the way. And that you sometimes will get a satisfying click, but you need to visually look. They need to be in all the way. Otherwise, they might come down during flight, and heaven help you if that was the elevator or something like that, okay? All right, well, there you go, folks. I'm going to take some pictures of it here on the bench with all lit up, with lights down, lights up, and include that at the end of the video. Let me know what y'all think of those camera rolls I've been adding. God bless y'all. Y'all have a good, and God is good. And don't forget, folks, faith, family, and friends. And A-10 Thunderbolt 2 version 3 is from Freewing. Motion RC. Bye-bye.